Winter is almost upon us. Yes, CAT 2022 is just round the corner. Keeping this in mind, we know each and every one of you is really excited, but is also looking for the last final push and the fillip that is going to add those extra 5, 10, 15 percentile to your final CAT score. Well, because of this, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you the last lap to CAT 2022, starting on the 17th of October, all the way till the 20th of November. Yes, 4.5 intensive, in fact almost 5 intensive weeks of preparation. What more, the focus is predominantly going to be CAT, which means, as we know, time, speed, distance and time and work in totality have almost equal weightage or sometimes even more weightage than geometry. So can we go ahead and leave geometry and just focus on these two? Can we go ahead and leave entire theta para jumbles and still score a 99.99 percentile in verbal? Yes, we can. This and much more in terms of preparation, in terms of intensive questions that we're going to look at and the smartest way of going ahead and solving that. So catch us on the BYJU'S Exam Prep app, and in case you missed that, on YouTube. But go ahead, download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app and also get a 99 percentilers kit, which is going to help you ace CAT 2022. See you soon.
Hi guys, a very good evening to all of you. This is a Sunday evening and I'm happy to interact with all of you who are sitting here live in front of me, enthusiastic enough to prepare for your CAT 2022. So guys, we have about 20 days left. Today is what, 6th? So we have exactly 20 days left. Right? So this is our last push, last bid attempt to ensure that you get everything that you need for your CAT 2022 preparation. So as a part of that, we have a series called the Last Lap series. For those of you who are not familiar with this, I'll spend a minute to explain what this Last Lap is all about. So guys, we have identified the most important topics in English, Quant and as well as DI and LR, and we are going to conduct sessions like this, each of about an hour, hour and a half on Sundays 7 p.m. And these sessions are termed or called as Last Lap. So we are only picking those topics which we strongly believe are the most important, and we came to this conclusion based on the last 5 years analysis of the test papers. So based on that, we have curated topic names and we have created questions for these topics, and these questions we are bringing in front of you along with the theory. So these can be taken as a last round of revision for you guys. So if you attend these last lap sessions, I can assure you that it will be a complete revision of these topics for sure, and I can guarantee that at least about 90 percentile of your score can be captured within these sessions. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at today's session, which is logic-based DI sets. So first, let's understand what is this logic-based DI set and what is the weightage in CAT. So first thing you need to understand, it's a part of DI and LR. Of course, it's a part of the second session. There's no doubt about it. In this DI and logical reasoning, there are multiple topics. I'll show you the list of all the topics in this. One such topic is called as logic-based DI. Now, what is the importance of this? How many questions come through this particular area? So first of all, let's understand what this is. Logic-based DI is information given to us, data interpretation, where a lot of logic has to be used, very little calculation happens. So typically the LRDI section can be broken down into two parts. One part of the session is data interpretation with calculation. So your typical bar comes to you, or a chart, pie chart comes to you, or a table with numbers come to you, or a line graph, or a bar chart, or a spider diagram, all types of charts where the criteria, the focus of the examiner is in testing your understanding of the information in terms of, that is a pictorial understanding, as well as the calculation prowess of yours. So how fast are you in your calculations? How good are you in your calculations? That is the purpose in those kind of DI based calculation questions. Then we have the other type of questions. That is where they don't look at your calculation per se, they will look at logical interpretation of the information in front of you. Okay. Just a moment, guys. Yeah. So logical interpretation of the information in front of you. So basically what they do over here is they will give you not exactly puzzles, but they will give you information again with some numbers in it. But here the numbers are typically not used for, lengthy calculations. Here the numbers are typically used for using some kind of a logic. For example, they'll give you some numbers and they'll give you some conditions. Based on the conditions, some will be eliminated and the remaining will be useful in your question. So hardly calculations, lengthy calculations will be happening here. So typically in your logic based DI sets, you will use some little calculation. It is mostly addition, subtraction, or at least multiplication by 2. That's it. Nothing greater than that. It is not like your DI based where percentages will be taken out, ratios will be taken out, lengthy calculations will happen. All that will not happen here. Then of course there are sets where there is no number. It is purely logic, where there is just no calculation at all. Then those kind of sets also come in. So they are pure logic sets. So in the last 5 years, what you need to understand is, in fact, if you go pre-2016, there used to be 32 questions, in which 16 used to be DI, calculation, and 16 used to be logic. Okay, now it used to be equal distribution. But if you look at post 2016, that is 2017, 18, 19, especially the last 2 years, what happened is you've been in the last 2 years, 2020 and 21, you've been getting around, so last year in fact if you look at it, 2020 was slightly higher, 24 number of questions, but last year there were 20 only, 20 questions. In this, only 4 questions are from DI. The remaining 6 questions are from logic. So the examiners, that is the CAT paper, is moving away from calculations, because anyway that is happening in your quant. They are moving away from calculations and going towards your logic. So that is where this topic of logic based DI becomes very, very important. So the weightage, I can assure you that one set is guaranteed. So this will be one set, guys. In this year's CAT, I can tell this upfront. There will be one set which is calculation based. There will be one set which is logic based DI. The other 2 sets could be anything. But one here and one there, mostly it is going to happen that way based on what happened for the last 3-4 years if you analyze. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions coming in. Which slot have I got? Varun, good to see you too. Long time. Yes, I've not been taking too many sessions here. But yeah, my CAT slot is slot number 2. So I'll be doing the analysis for the second slot of CAT. And I've got, in mocks, I encounter some difficult logic based DI which becomes tricky. How to tackle it in the day of exam to increase accuracy? See, Varun, firstly, you need to understand that if it is a tricky set and you identified it to be a tricky set, please don't do that in the exam. You know it is tricky. Why do you want to get into the trap? Right? It is like saying that, okay, I know this path is difficult, but I'm still going to go. You shouldn't. There are 4 sets. Ideally, there are going to be 4 sets of questions. So pick the 2 or 3 sets which you feel are doable. Leave out that one set which you feel is really trappy or tricky. Okay, so I would not, if you identified some set to be difficult, please, that is not the set for you to be doing in the exam. Okay, how many questions are from LR? Vishal, as I said, you can easily expect 12 questions for sure from LR. It could be 16 also, 4 questions from DI. Last 2-3 years, it has been like that. One set from DI, which is calculation based, the others are from logic. It is logic with pure logic or logic with a little bit of numbers included. Either way, it will be 16 plus 4, worst case it will be 8 plus 12. Okay. Official mock is not yet released, my friend. It is supposed to have been released. I don't know why they have delayed it this time. By now, last year it was released. But this time, I don't know, for some reason they are delaying it. So we'll wait and see what happens. Okay. Right, let's move on. So what are all the topics under logic-based DI sets? Arithmetic caselet, algebra caselet. Then we have topics called missing data. Then we have order and ranking, and then we have grouping and selection. So all these type of questions come under logic based DI. So arithmetic caselet and algebra based caselet, today the discussion, what you need to understand about these sets, I'll explain a little bit about each one of them. Obviously we will not have time to discuss all 5 types. So I have 3 sets with you, with me. three sets for you actually. Let us see what these three sets are. But before we get into this, let's take a small idea about each one of them. Arithmetic and algebra caselets are basically a scenario created where they will be creating. So in algebra caselets, you will be required to form equations and then get something out of it. Logic has to be used and equations have to be framed, and then you're supposed to get your x, y, z, something like that. There's a long story that will be given. Same logic for arithmetic. In arithmetic, it will be mostly about ratios. They'll use percentages, they will use prime numbers, whatever it is, you are supposed to get your answers using the information given to you. It is a story of about 2-3 passages. It's like an RC that will be given to you, right? So you have to read all of that, understand all of that, cull out what is required, what is not required, and then get your answers. Missing data is where a table will be presented to you, and typically a table or a rows and column or a grid will be given to you where numbers will be present. Some numbers will be deleted for obvious reasons because they want to make you work for it, right? So the whole idea for missing data is they will tell you how this table is created, what is the logic behind the creation of table, and they'll give you certain pieces of information which will help you get the missing parts. And the entire set is about finding those missing parts. Missing data is very, very common in CAT, and I'll not be surprised if from DI, logic-based DI, missing data comes. Right, so this is one area which you should be very, very familiar with. Arithmetic caselet or the algebra caselet may or may not come, but I'm much more positive about missing data. Then we have order and ranking. Order and ranking, you can call it as linear arrangement. At the end of the day, order and ranking is who is first, who is second, who is third. It's just same as linear arrangement. Linear arrangement, you make people sit in a row or in a vertical column. That's okay. But order and ranking, it's like identifying, okay, who is singing first, who is singing last, who is coming in middle, who left the room first. Those kind of questions. Ultimately, it's again arrangement of things. Grouping and selection. Now, in order and ranking, you have to keep one thing in mind. In order and ranking, there are multiple parameters that can be used. So, in fact, the arrangement becomes difficult. The arrangement becomes difficult if it is multi-parameter. You're talking about 2 or 3 parameters at the same time. So, you're talking about somebody who's coming into the room and then somebody who's singing a song in a particular language. So, let me give you an example. If there are 6 people or 5 people who are coming into an auditorium, right, at different points in time, they're also singing at different points in time, and their language is also different. So there could be 5 people coming at 5 different times, but singing in 5 different other times and singing in 5 different languages. So I have to arrange the order of entry points, order of singing, and the language that they have sung. So all these put together is 3 parameter orders. So 3 parameter rankings. So such kind of questions you have to be very careful, because there is so much information that will be thrown at you, because you are talking about 3 parameters for 5 people. That's 15 points. So much of information will be thrown at you, and when so much of information is in front of you, you have to be careful, because even if you miss one small point, the entire set will be going for a toss. Then we are talking about grouping and selection. Grouping and selection is typically, the kind of question where there are 7 people and A cannot be friends with B, or A is not friends with B, so A and B should never be sitting together, or A and B should never be part of the team. If B and C are best of the friends, so if B is present, then C should be present. So that kind of logic where you are trying to form groups. So if you have 7 friends and you want to form a group of 3, then they'll give you the condition for these 7 friends. B and C are best friends, A and B are mortal enemies, they will always fight. D and E are again friends. If E is there, E, F, G are 3 friends who will never be alone, so E, F, G will always have to be together if they are there. So some conditions will be given, and the questions talks about which of these, which of the following, if true, then A will be present, or which person cannot ever be a part of your group, something like that. So that comes under your grouping and selection. So today we'll have 3 sets coming your way. I hope all of you are ready with it. So you have your pens and papers ready? Can I have a quick round of responses from all of you? You've got your pens and papers. Now we are moving on to the set and solving of sets directly. Before that, I have a couple of questions. Let me okay, I have some questions coming in. So NMAT के language sections में 60 marks के around आ रहे हैं mocks. 80 in reasoning is good, Sanidhya, but 60 in English is not great. If you're crossing 80 in every section, it's excellent. Minimum 76 in every section you need in NMAT. Minimum 76. I'm not saying that will be enough. That is bare minimum requirement. Overall target should be around 235 to 240 for you. Okay. All right. So let's move on, my friends. Practice set 1. I will give you around 1 minute for each slide. So note down. Unfortunately, I can't put all information in one slide. Then you can't read anything. So what I'll do is I have the information in about 3 slides or so. Please note down the information. I will move on to the next slides every time. So please keep the papers in front of you. So here is the first set. So this is the information. I'll give you 1 minute to read it. Okay. Sanidhya, I don't want to discuss about verbal improvement in a DI class, my friend. While I appreciate you asking me, I don't want to discuss out of topic right now. Focus on what we are having right now. We will have definitely English sections. Verbal faculty members will be in a better position to answer that. All right. Okay, so 1 minute is up. Let's quickly take a look at what has happened here. In a certain school, students were to appear for 5 papers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Due to a certain emergencies, the students could not appear for some of the papers. So students missed either 1 paper or 2 papers or 3 papers. Nobody missed more than 3 papers. So definitely everybody missed at least 1 paper. It is 1, 2 or 3, right? The school adopted the following policy for awarding marks to the student. What is the policy? If a student missed any paper, then the marks awarded in that paper was the average of the scores in the paper they appeared for. So if I missed 1 paper out of the 5, then the remaining 4's average will be my score for the missed one. If I missed 2 papers, then the remaining 3 papers average will be the score for both my papers. It will be the same for both my papers. So that's the logic. Okay. Next information. Here is a table. Note down the table. I'll give you 1 minute 30 seconds because you have to write down this table also. 90 seconds. Quickly write down. Smart thing would be if you are using a phone, take a screenshot. Or in a laptop, take a screenshot and use that. You don't have to write down then, right? Very smart, Siddharth Shankar. Right. So now let's move on to the information. What else is there? Okay, so these are the this is the information given to you. Take a look at it. Right. I'll give you 1 minute because there's not much here. Just 1 minute to understand this. Okay, so that's the end of your time. Now start solving. I'll give you, let's not, okay. I'll give you 4 more minutes to crack the set. Try to crack the set now based on all this information. I'll give you 4 minutes for this. Your time starts now. Vishnu, can you increase the font size of app? Shivam, I hope this helps. Two minutes are up. 2 more minutes left. Guru Prasad. So if you have cracked the set, the first question, I don't want to go to the questions directly because the in between slides have the answers. So I don't want to show that. The first question for you, if you want to let me know, is how many questions were, or how many papers were missed by the first person, A? How many papers were missed by the first person? And which paper is it? Paper number. Right, Guru? Once more, I'm putting the table in front of you. Last minute. Varun, there will be no cases. I mean, there will be cases, but ultimately you'll get to only one final case. Only one final case exists in this. So Akhil, how many papers did A miss and which paper did he miss? What is your answer? Varun, Akhil, others. The first question is, how many papers did A miss and which paper number is it? Awesome. Very good, guys. Fine. So the 4 minutes are up. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is there in front of us. So the first piece of information is every paper was missed by a maximum of 3 students, right? Total number of papers missed is 14. So I will use this information. So total missed will be 14, right? Okay, let me erase all whatever I don't need. So total missed is 14. They are saying that number of papers missed by A and F is the same, B and C is the same, and D and E is the same. Let us say the number of paper missed by G is G itself. Now please remember, 2 times of x plus y plus z plus g should be equal to 14. Correct? Because that's what they are saying. Now what is the possibility for g? G can be 1 or 2 or 3. G can be 1, 2 or 3. Now please understand, if it is 1 or 3, you will get x plus y plus z as a fraction. Because in the case of 1, you will get 2 times of x plus y plus z is 13. Which means your x plus y plus z will be 6.5. But number of papers missed cannot be 6.5. So G cannot be 1. Similarly, you cannot get G as 3. So G has to be 2. G has to be 2. So G is equal to 2. If G is 2, then you will get 2 times of x plus y plus z will be equal to 14 minus 2, 12, or x plus y plus z will be equal to 6. So now if you want x plus y plus z to be equal to 6, how should the 6 be broken up? What could be x, y, z? So 6 can be broken up as 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 6 can be broken up as 3 plus 2 plus 1. Now we will worry about who is x, who is y, who is z, but broadly speaking, these are the only two possibilities. Yes or no? Now let's take a look at, is this possible? 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 means everybody is missing 2 papers. If you look at A, if A missed 2 papers, then in the 2 missed papers, he should be getting the same score, because the calculated value for the missed paper is average of the other 3. So definitely A should have got 2 same scores. Clearly A does not have 2 same scores. It means this is not the case at all. So now the case is 6 is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, let me write this down. I'll erase this. So 6 should be equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1, where G is 2 already. Now the question is, which is 3, which is 2, which is 1? Is it, so this and this are x, these two are y's, these two are z's. So what is x, what is y, and what is z? Now again understand, if you look at x, x cannot be 2, x cannot be 3, because we saw that x does not have anything common. So the only logical conclusion is x should be 1. X should be 1. So x is 1 and x is 1, which means this is done. Now what about y and z? If you notice y, y has 3 equals, and here also it does not. Okay, now y does not have. So B has 3 equals, but your C does not have 3 equals. So if C does not have 3 equals, C cannot be 3. If C is not 3, then Y is not 3. Which means Y has to be 2 and Z has to be 3. So you're saying that B missed 2, C missed 2, D missed 3 and E missed 3. This much is confirmed. Right? Till here, does anybody has any problem? Any logic, anything in understanding for the logic part? Quickly, is this clear? Okay, now let's understand how to decide which papers are missed, which papers are not missed. Now, there is one information that I think we did not use. Yeah, B and G did not miss paper number 4. Let's start from there. B and G did not miss paper number 4. So what I will do is, anybody who did not miss a paper, so this is 2, this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, 2, 3 and 3. Now anybody whose paper is written, not missed, I will put it as a circle. So B and G did not miss paper number 4. A circle means they did not miss it. Circle means they did not miss it. Okay, keep that in mind. Then where was I? Yes. Yeah, so now the logic here, okay, this is very simple but very beautiful logic. Remember guys, the highest value cannot be missed. Why 90 cannot be missed? What is the logic? And the minimum also. So the highest and the minimum least cannot be missed, because anything that is missed has to be the average of others. An average number cannot be highest or it cannot be the least. Correct? Because an average is always between the numbers. So the topmost mark and the bottommost mark cannot be missed. So all top and all bottoms are definitely not missed. So round it up. So highest here is 70 and the least here is 60. Highest in the third one is 80 and the least is 75. Highest is 92 and the least is 66. Highest is 98 and the least is 82. Highest is 94 and the least is 80. Highest is 85 and the least is 77. Now the moment you get this, automatically I will change the color now so that you understand this. So 81 are missed. So blue color is missed. Blue square is missed. So you can see G has to miss 2 and there are only 2 things left for G. Both of them are paper 1 and paper 2. Now if you look at F, let's go to D and E. Now D and E, they are missing both 3. Automatically you will say which 3. There's no problem here. Straightforward. If you notice here, this is the meaning of DI, logic based DI, where we are using numbers, but a lot of logic has been used without much of calculation. We hardly did any calculation, but all the logic is using numbers, correct? So that's what happens. Then where else? Okay, now B and C. B and C, we need 2. So now B already we got 2, exactly. Now C should be 2 of them. Which 2? Obviously, the 2 of them should be equal, which means 77 and 77, which means the remaining should be circle. Now, please keep in mind, every paper is missed by maximum 3 people. Already you got your 3 people in one. Who are the 3 people? 1, 2, 3, which means this cannot be missed. Similarly, if you look at paper 2, all 3 people are already done for you. 3 misses you got, which means the 4th remaining has to be taken. Now if you look at 3, 4, 5, now we don't know what is happening to 3, 4, 5. So start with A. Okay, start with A or F, doesn't matter. Both of them will give you the same answer. If you start with F for that matter, now 90 and 88, one of them is missed. Only one of them is missed. Can 90 be missed? If 90 is missed, then you are saying that 80 plus 88 plus 94. Now please remember, if 90 is missed, then 88 is given. So plus another 88 by 4 should be equal to 90. Is this correct? Do the quick calculation here. So is this possible? Let's see. This is not possible because 4 goes 20 times, 4 goes 22 times, 4 goes 22 times, and 94 is not divisible by 4. So you are saying that the average should be a fraction, which is not possible. So 90 cannot be missed, which means 90 is given. Therefore, the missed value will be 88. So 4 is done. Okay. Then similarly, if you look at A, 70 and 75, which of them can be missed? Check with any one of them. Say that 70 is missed. If you're saying 70 is missed, then 70 should be equal to 80 plus 90 plus 60 plus 75 by 4. Is this true? Just take 60 plus 90, 150, 150 plus 80, 230, 230 plus 75. In fact, it's an odd number. Odd number divided by 4 cannot be 70, right? So 70 cannot be missed, which means 70 should be given, 75 is missed. So the entire set is now done, right? Clear? Now let's go ahead and take a look at the questions. Now once this is done, the questions are, the entire set of 4 questions will be done within 1 minute or 2 minutes, because this is the most important part. So let's start with this is what happened. So this entire thing I explained to you. So this is what we got. Okay. What is the average score obtained by, okay, what is the first question? What is the average of the scores obtained by paper 4 by those who missed paper 4? So paper 4 average of the students who missed paper 4. So who is missed paper 4? You missed by A, then 77 and 79 by 3. So how much is this? 9 plus 7, 16, 16 plus 5, 21. So 1, 2, 7 3s are 21, 22, 23. So 231 by 3. 3 7s are 3 7s are. 77 is your answer. Simple, right? Let's move on. How many students missed at most 2 of the 5 papers? Maximum 2 of the 5. We know that 3 people have missed. G has missed 2, and then we have B and C also missing 2 each. So 3 people have missed 2 papers, but again, at most 2, which means 2 and 2 are less than 2 also. So A is 1 and F is 1. You have to count all of them. So all of them, so 5 people have missed 2 or less than 2 papers. So that's your answer. Sumant says, sir, I have a problem of going through paragraph again and again. How to tackle this? Sumant, okay. So guys, this is something which many of you might face. Let me explain how to deal with this. When you're looking at passages, when you have a passage like this, and you don't want to go through this is a small passage. This is not too much of information, only little. That's not a problem. But how do you convert this words into something which is meaningful? So you start with a page like this. If you want to convert all this text into something which is easy for you to read, you should follow a shorthand notation, develop on your own. There's no particular shorthand rule, but it's a habit that you develop. So I will say total is equal to 14. Okay, missed any paper, max miss equal to 3. Then A equal to F, B equal to C, D equal to E. Then I will write B and G didn't miss 4. So if you notice, in this small 3 sentences, I captured the entire slide. So imagine now what happens if you develop this habit where there are 9 or 10 points. All the 9 or 10 points will be there in a small sheet of paper in front of you. So you don't have to go backward and forward again and again. This habit has to be developed. Otherwise, you will keep going through the slides back, forward, because even in the CAT exam, while it is not a slide problem, you will have to do the scroll up and down. It's a good habit to develop this way of writing things in front of you so that you don't have to worry about the entire passage reading, because you are going to read an RC again and again otherwise. Clear? Varun is saying, I have a doubt, the remaining is missed and the one which you circled is given right to students. No, Varun, so this question is as it is. This entire table is given. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So where are we? First question is done, second question is also done. Third question, student B missed which of the following papers? We already got this. Student B missed 1 and 3. Right, we've got this. Which student G missed which of the following 2 papers? The first 2 papers he missed, if you remember. Right, so 1 and 2, option C. Okay, done. Ready for set 2? Guys, ready? Alright, so let's go ahead. Starting with set number 2. Right. So please note this down. 1 minute to note down. 1 minute to note down. Alright, next slide. Lot of information. I'll again give you 1 minute to go through it and assimilate it. Write down whatever you need. 1 minute, time starting now. Done? Moving on. I'll give you 90 seconds here. Time starting now. Alright, next slide. This is information. I'll give you only 1 minute for this. Write down whatever you want. Alright, time is up. So now let me put the first question in front of you. When is the final order served? That is a question. You will have 3 minutes only to do this. This is an easy set actually, it's not very difficult. 3 minutes to solve. When is the final order delivered? That is a question. Okay? 3 minutes, your time starts now. One minute is up. Disha, it is given. Time needed to prepare a meal is given here in the table. This is the table. Last minute. Oh, I'm getting different answers. Shubham 850, Varun 830, lot of 830, Som Prakash 840. Okay, let's see. Okay, I've got an Apurva Jatav saying 835. Som Prakash mistyped. Akhil says 840. Alright guys, so time is up. So let's go ahead and take a look at this question. I would rate this question, by the way, for you to understand the difficulty level, I would rate this question as easy or just above easy. Just above easy. It is not even moderate level. Okay. In the CAT exam, if you get a question like this, you should do this in under 8 minutes, finish and move to the next set. 8 minutes is actually a lot of time. Okay, but by the way guys, one small piece of information, our last All India free open mock is live and today is the last day. Which means once the session is over, if you have not already written it, you will have till 12 o'clock. So you can write the mock from 9 to 11 or from 10 to 12. But please make sure that you write the mock if you have not already written. Okay, it is a last chance for you to test yourself against the best minds in the country, and we are not having any more free open mocks after this. Okay, so veg meal 15 minutes, pav bhaji 20, masala dosa 12, fresh juice 5. So let me write down this information. Can somebody quickly also help me? I don't want to go forward and backward. Masala dosa was 15 minutes, correct? Fresh juice was, how many minutes was it? Then we have tea is 8 minutes. Then pav bhaji is 20 minutes. Then veg meal. So I need the numbers. Can somebody quickly tell me? Fruit juice. Fruit juice is 10 minutes. Okay. Veg meal is how many minutes? Veg meal is how many minutes? I don't want to keep going back and forth, back and forth. Veg meal is 15. Then masala dosa. What is masala dosa? Dosa is 12. Okay. Dosa is 12. Okay. Right. Thank you. Now the other information that I also need is fruit juice can be made by chef number 3. Tea can be made by chef number 3. Pav bhaji can be made by which chef? Let me take a look at this. Yeah. Veg meal and masala dosa can be prepared by chef 2. So veg meal 2 and masala dosa 2 and chef number 1 is only pav bhaji. This is the information. Now again, capture all information in a small piece. That's what you need to learn. Let's move on. So masala dosa has to be done by chef number 2. Let's write down 3 here, pav bhaji by 1. Then veg meal by 2, fresh juice by 3, pav bhaji by 1, fresh juice by 3, pav bhaji by 1 and veg meal has to be by 2. Okay. And we also know the timing. So start the first order came at 7:30. So masala dosa will be made from 7:30 to, now it will take 12 minutes. So it will be till 7:42. So once you started with chef number 2, let's continue chef number 2 because the chef will continuously keep working. Don't go from 2 to 1, 1 to 3. That will really mess up your calculations. If you started with 2, finish 2. If you started with 1, finish 1. Start with anybody, doesn't matter. Right? So 7:30 to 7:42 masala dosa. Next, where is 2 coming in again? 2 is coming in the order to veg meal. Now, he can only start working at 7:42. So veg meal will be 7:42 to, now veg meal is for 15 minutes. So it will be 7:57. Now where is 2 again? Again 2 comes here. 7:57 he starts and goes on for one more veg meal. One more veg meal is 15 minutes. So 7:57 he is going to start and 15 minutes after that will be 8:12. Is this clear? So the chef number 2 will finish his work at 8:12. Let's start with chef number 1. Chef number 1 again starts at 7:30. But pav bhaji he will make for 20 minutes. So it is 7:50. Then he will start the work at 7:50. And he needs 20 minutes, which is 8:10. And then he will start the work at 8:10 and continue till 8:30. Correct? And now let's look at what is happening to chef number 3. Chef number 3 starts working at 7:30, continues for 8 minutes, so 7:38. Then he will start at 7:38 and continues for fruit juice 10 minutes, so 7:38 to 7:48. And he'll start at 7:48 and continue till 58. Is there anything else missing? That's it. This is your job done. Let's take a look at the questions now. At what time can order 2 be served? Order 2, what time can it be served? So look at the last time of order 2. Order 2, 7:57 and 7:48. So it will be 7:57, which is the latest or the most later in time. Okay, so 7:57 is your answer. Option C. Correct? Then what is the time taken to completely serve all the 4 orders of the family? So let's look at when is the order 4 served. Order 4, 8:12 and 8:30. So 8:30 is when you call the order being served. Starting at 7:30, ending at 8:30, 1 hour, 60 minutes. Okay? So 60 minutes is your answer there. Option C. Right? Then the next question, what is the time taken between the start of the preparation of any item of order 3 and the finish of order 3 completely? Start of preparation of any item of order 3 and the finish of order 3 completely. So, or if you look at order 3, start and order 3 finish. Order 3 earliest starting is 48 and finishing is 8:10. So 7:48 it is starting and ending at 8:10. So how many minutes is this? 10 minutes here and 12 minutes here. So 22 minutes. 20 or 22? 22. Okay? 22. Then at what time does the preparation of order 4 starts? Order 4, when is it starting? We have this again. It's not a great deal. It's very straightforward. 7:57 and 8:10. 7:57 is your answer. Right? 7:57. So this is 7:57. Done? Is that clear? This is an easy set. So if you are getting a set like this, there will always be one set like this. Search for it. Always, but again, in the last 2-3 years, what we observed is one set will be like this, others are not like this. Others will be slightly bit more complicated, like the first set, or probably a little bit more complicated than the first set. Okay? Anyway, let's go on. Set number 3. Are you all ready? Guys, can we move on? Set number 3. Quick response. All right. Here's the first part. Read it. 30 seconds only, or 45 seconds. Read fast. Yeah, Piyush, that's a dream. Getting 2 sets like that in CAT usually won't happen. This is the table. Write down the table. RG, if you really covered 85% topic tests, I can assure you, you will get a 95 or a minimum 95 percentile. Minimum. Okay? If you have really covered 85% of the topic test properly, I can guarantee you will get a 95 percentile, guys. Level of difficulty 2 and 3, awesome. Then you are ready to get a 99 percentile also. Okay, I hope you guys have noted this down. Yeah, that's okay. Easy test, you can skip RG. Next, another 1 minute for this. Sejal, this is, I don't want to talk about English in a DILR session. Okay? By the way, this is 6.9. 6.9. Yash, thanks for pointing it out. Okay, is this done? Let's move on. This is a table. So the table, and I'll give you 5 minutes. What is the question? Get me the score of all of them. Final CGPA I need. For all of them. That's your task, 5 minutes. The time starts now. EX, final grade EX is 9 plus, whereas in the subject EX is 10 points. So this is subject scores, and here this table is GPA or CGPA score. Okay, this is what you need. So 5 minutes, guys. Varun, it is meant to be confusing. It's a CAT level set at the end of the day. Not everything is going to be easy, right? Try it out. All right, I will show you the whole slide again, starting from the beginning. This is the first slide. By the way, 3 minutes are up. I'll show each slide for 30 seconds. Next. And now the last slide. Last 1 minute left for you. Alright, so 5 minutes are up. So guys, this level, I would rate it as moderate level. Okay, it's not very difficult, it is moderate level. Okay, this is not the hard level again in CAT. Please keep in mind. And a good student who's training for or aiming for a 98, 99 percentile in DILR will easily be able to do this set. Okay, so you need to understand where you stand. So first, look at this table. It is given that the person P got grade B. So what is B? Let's take a look at it. B is 7, right? So B means 7. So I will say this is 7. A means 9, I guess. No, A is 8. Then C is 6. Then A is 8. A is 8. Then A plus is 9. Similarly, if you look at Q, C is 6. C is 6. A is 8. B is 7. A plus is 9 and excellent is 10. So I can recreate this table with numbers now. So first I'll convert my alphabets into numbers. Okay, that's the first thing. So I'll get a table like this. I'll recreate my entire table. Yes, of course, Sanju, this is not a school. Come on. Right. So you will recreate the entire table converting your alphabets into numbers. That's the first task. Once that is done, now you are supposed to find the GPA. How do you get the GPA? A GPA is the weighted average. That is what they are saying. Now the weights are 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and they are mentioning that two of them, I think, which two are mentioned already? Yeah, here. PHY, physics and ED, 0.1 and 0.2 respectively. So physics is 0.1. Physics is 0.1, ED is 0.2. The other four we don't know, right? What else is given to us about the other four? The weights of the remaining four subjects are these three, which means with two of the remaining four weights having 0.1. So 0.1, 0.1 is repeated, then 0.2 and 0.3. And the order we don't know, but it is given that BEE is the same weight as the other two subjects, which means BEE and two other subjects, three of them have the same weight. So the only possibility is all of them are 0.1 because there are 3.1s, 2.2s and 1.3. I think that's how it is, 3, 4, 5, yes, and 6. So we have 3.1s, 2.2s and 1.3, and we are saying that BEE along with two others is the same, which means BEE has to be 0.1. Now we are left with one more 0.1, one more 0.2, one more 0.3. We don't know which is what. So let us say this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. Right? Now, so basically X is it could be anyone, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Y can be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Z can be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Now let's take a look at what else is the information given to us. It is further known that GPAs of P and R are equal and GPA of V is better than S. So P and R, P GPA, if this is X, then R GPA is also X. X is already used, sorry, so I will not use the word X again. Let me call it as GPA A. So if A is used here, A is also used here, and the other piece of information is V is better than R. So V here, if this is B and R, V is better than, which one is it? V is better than S, sorry. So where is S? S. So this is less than B. This is the information with us, right? So we need to first determine what is X, what is Y, and what is Z. So I will use this piece of information. P and R are same. So if I am calculating the weighted average, guys, remember what is the formula for weighted average? Weighted average is value into weight 1 plus value 2, value 1 into weight 1 plus value 2 into weight 2, and so on, divided by weight 1 plus weight 2, and so on. So if you look at for P, the weight is X and the value is 7. So 7X plus 0.8 plus 6Y plus 0.8 again plus 1.6 plus 9Z should be equal to R. What is R now? R again is 9X plus 0.8 plus 9Y plus 0.7 plus 1.2 plus 8Z. Simplify this. So 0.8 will get cancelled. 6Y and 3Y. Is it 3Y? Did I get it? 3Y correct? 6Y and 3Y. Yes. So 6Y and this will get cancelled. I will get 3Y here. Then what else? 0.8. One more 0.8 is there. So here the total is this 7X will get cancelled and I will be left with 2X here. Then 1.6 plus 0.8 is 2.4, whereas here it is 1.9. So this 1.9 will cancel this out, and how much will be remaining? 1.9 and 2.4, 0.5. So my left hands and 9Z and 8Z. 8Z will get cancelled and only Z is remaining. So what do I get here? 0.5 plus Z is equal to 2X plus 3Y. Now I have to choose my ABC. X, Y, Z in such a way that this equation is satisfied. So what are the possibilities? Let's write the possibilities. X, Y, Z. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.1, 0.3, 0.2. 0.2, 0.1, 0.3, 0.2, 0.3, 0.1. And finally 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. So these are the 6 possibilities. Let's look at which case will satisfy. So if Z, let's take the case 1. If Z is 0.3, so 0.5 plus 0.3 is 0.8 is equal to X is 0.2 plus 0.6. May be possible. So first case is possible. But again, don't stop there. There might be multiple cases which are possible. Let's move on to the next possibility. What is the next possibility? Second case. The second case, if you look at what happens, 0.5 plus Z is 0.2 is equal to 0.2 plus 0.9. So 11 and 0.7 not valid. Then let's move on to the third case. The third case will be 0.5 plus 0.3 is equal to X is 0.2, so 0.4 plus Y is 0.1, 0.3. This is 0.8, this is 0.7, not valid. So this is also gone. Let me again erase and create space. Okay, then what else? Look at the fourth case. Fourth case, 0.5 plus Z, Z is 0.1 is equal to X, X is 0.2, so 0.4 plus Y is 0.3, so 0.9. Clearly this is not valid. So I am slowly eliminating the cases. Then I am looking at the last two cases. 0.5 plus Z, Z is 0.2 in the last second case, which is equal to 0.6 plus 0.3. This is 0.7 and 0.9, not valid. And finally the last case. If I am looking at the last case, 0.5 plus 0.1 is equal to 0.6 plus 0.6. Clearly, this is also not valid. So out of the 6 cases, 5 got eliminated. So I don't even have to worry about any other case, only one case. So X is 0.1, Y is 0.2, Z is 0.3. Therefore, you will start getting your CGPAs now. So what are your CGPAs? Calculate them. You can calculate them now. So this is a bit calculation based question. Again, this is not the DI based calculation. If you notice, all the calculations here are simple multiplications, no percentages or anything. So the calculation based ones will be more complicated than this in terms of calculation of percentages and things like that. This is not called calculation intensive. It is little bit of calculation, that's all. Okay. So what will this be? So P will be 7 into 0.1, 0.7, 0.8, 6 into 0.2, 1.2, then 0.8, 1.6 and 9 threes are 2.7. So what is the total? 8 plus 2, 10, 17, 25, 31, 38. So 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.8. Clear? This is how you get your table. So once you multiply all of this, you will get this final structure. So 7.8 means it will result in B. 7.8 means you will get, if you notice, based on this structure given to you. 7.8, where is the 7.8? 7.8 is here. So the final grade is B grade. So you will make this full table accordingly. This table is what you need. Once this table is done, the time the questions are sorted. Logic is clear. Now, again, as I said, this is a moderate level question. It should take you around 10 minutes or so. It should take you around 10 minutes or so to solve all the questions, not just data interpretation. So when I say making of the table and the questions put together should be 10 minutes, right? Let's take a look at the questions. The first question, how many students have CGPA between 7 and 7.5? 7 and 7.5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 students. 7 and 7.5, 2. No, I think it's 4, right? Did we make a mistake anywhere? Oh, 7.5. This is not counted. My bad. 7.3 and 7.1. Yes, not 4. 7.5. 7.8 should not be counted. Okay? The answer is 2. Next, what is the highest GPA among the 8 students? Highest GPA is how much? 8.3, I believe? 8.6. 8.6 is the highest. Correct? So that's your answer. Option C. Right? Then which of the following students got the lowest GPA score? Lowest GPA is for which guy? In fact, we have the students table over here. Lowest is for 6.9. 6.9 is T. T got the lowest. So it is option A. And then finally, how many students receive the final grade as A or A plus? So A or A plus, 1, 2, 3. You got totally 3 students. Okay, so guys, that brings us to the end of the session right now. Please give me a like on this session. If you have not already subscribed onto our channel, please do subscribe to our channel. We have all of these sessions coming up for you. We have a session on modern math, which is PNC probability. We have a session on QA decoded, that is smart techniques to ace quant. So Gautam is going to, so he is really good at showing you methods which will not require maths. You know, he applies all kinds of logics and gets the answer without too much of calculation. Then of course I'm going to take a question on arithmetic. Cyril is going to take a session on algebra and arithmetic once again. So we have these sessions lined up, my friends. Please be there with us either on YouTube or on our app. And we are also present on Instagram. We post a lot of questions on Instagram, so please follow us on Instagram channel too. Thank you guys. See you in the next session. Right, so we have a slot wise analysis on November 27th. The first slot, second slot, third slot. I'm doing the second slot analysis. So I will definitely see you guys pretty soon before that too. Alright. Thank you. By the way, as I said, All India Open Mock, today is the last day. Take a 1 hour break. If possible, write it from 10 to 12. You know, the last, it's a 2-hour exam. So start from 9:30, finish it off by 11:30. It's the last open mock. So if you've not already written it, please write it. Right. Thank you guys. See you in the next session.